What happens when these pipes fill up with piddle, but if the vent hasn't been constructed yet? Output pipe full. Yes, that much I categorically agree with. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included for the second episode within the spectacular screw-up. Okay, so not really an all. I haven't done really anything. I just sort of let the game run for just 5 minutes while in between the last episode. We've finished our research on the decontamination, which will allow us to scrub the polluted oxygen from the air. And polluted oxygen is bad because it spreads germs. Well, there don't actually seem to be any germs at the minute. These are highly germified, which are not good by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm hoping that these will counteract the germs. I just really, really, really need all of this to be finished, like, pronto. In fact, do you know what? I'm gonna probably do something monstrously stupid here, and I'm gonna just set all of that on a 6 because I really, really want all of that to be done. And we haven't got any power. Oh gosh! I don't guess there's like a natural gas geyser somewhere, is there? Because that would be like amazingly useful. Well, I say a natural gas geyser would be amazingly useful. I think if you can harness the geysers properly, they do become very useful. I was just not very good at it because I don't know why the natural gas geyser refused to work for me. It just sort of didn't. Something went horribly wrong with the natural gas geyser and it just didn't work. I'm also very annoyed that they're having to do this long journey. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set that much to a 7 just so that they can have a cut through. And they can go through quickly. They can just sort of cut through here instead of having to go all the way around, which is very long-winded and annoying and time wasteful at the moment. Yay! I think it's working! I think, yes, the polluted water's working, which means all of this stuff should be operating now, and as soon as I've seen that it is operating, we can get rid of all of this junk. And stress is staying down. I don't know whether that's because people aren't doing any... Oh, the CO2. Wonderful. Oh, the glorious CO2. Kitty, can I ever be free of CO2? Probably not. Yeah, there's no oxygen here. How am I going to do to solve that? Because what I think I would see, the problem that I have with oxygen is that oxygen generation is a relatively resource-intensive process because it requires a lot of water. So my idea was, if we keep the oxygen generation near the water, that will keep commute times down because they won't need to move very far. They only have to move from here to move the water into the terrariums. That was my idea. The problem is, having all of the terrariums in one place means the oxygen's very dense here, but it's very light elsewhere because it's not really spreading out much. So an alternative might be to have a contained oxygen generation facility and then pipes leading off to other parts of the facility where the oxygen is then distributed by. So for example, we could build terrariums in here. Although saying that, the oxygen is spreading in here relatively quickly. It's spreading in at not a bad rate at all. It's not good down here by no stretch of the imagination, but once this is sorted, they don't really need to be in here. They just need to have this as an area that's sorted out, which now it's almost fully prepped. They just need to get rid of these 3 blocks, and then they're done. I'm also going to set this on a priority of 6. Actually, no, I'm going to set it on a priority of 7 because I really want that bad water gotten rid of because we've got a lot of build-up from the past. Some seeds and some brine. Brine is a natural, highly concentrated solution of salt dissolved in water. It can be used in the distillation process, separating out usable salt. That sounds exciting. Do you want Devon? He's a binge eater, so no. Do we want you, though? You're good at excavation, and you're quite athletic. You take a bit longer in the bathroom, but I'm not honestly worried about that. But do I want a 5th person? I don't think that I do. do I want a joyous seed? I don't know what joyous seeds do. I guess I'll take the brine. I guess that could come in handy later. Don't just go on the floor. Good, it's in a bottle. Good, because I would have cried if that hadn't been. If that had just gone all over the floor and just, like, seeped everywhere, I would have screamed. But it didn't happen, so we've nothing to worry about. What I might do as well, actually, is set up a second bottle, pitcher pump thing. Might set that up, like, there. And cancel that. Not cancel it. Goodness, how do I get over here? Deconstruct that, even, and then have ladders coming down here. So that we can start using up this bit of water here, because this pocket of water is slightly annoying, because it's preventing me from building here, and there's a fair amount of copper around here that would be quite useful. So I'm hoping that if we get rid of this supply of water, A, it will lessen our demand in this area, and it will improve other things. But one thing that it strikes me that we desperately need, and I didn't actually think about the production of, is a water purification facility to turn the bad water into good water, and I don't know where that is. So give us a minute, and I'll find it. What's that? An ore scrubber. Really? Raw ore is covered in germs? Why would a germ live on a piece of ore? I don't know. Maybe they like their bling. That word doesn't fit in my mouth, does it? Not to imply that many words fit in my mouth, because they constantly seem to be falling out of it in a very unceremonious and ungraceful fashion, so... that looks like it. Water sieve produces clean water from polluted water using sand. That sounds about right. Has anyone earned a skill point? No. But you have so much morale. You moralistic muppet. It looks like the worst of the polluted oxygen production is going away. So if we get one, I think if we just have like one scrubber, that might solve our problem for the time being. We just have the one deodorizer, even. And put it, like, I don't know, somewhere useful, which is none of the places we currently have available to us. It really needs to be, like, right here, doesn't it? I can't do that, though. Why did you make the refrigerators green, you great sillies? Honestly, why did you make the refrigerators green? They used to be white, like white goods, white household goods, fridges. They've always been white. Why did you make them green? And it's impossible to find the accursed things. Oh well, never mind. That's life, innit? Never mind. So what should our next project be? I'd like to do power generation. I mean, do we really need power generation? I don't know. Insufficient oxygen generation. What if they get on with this? There wouldn't be insufficient oxygen generation, would there? Oh goody, another skill point. What can we do with this? People's morale is not in an amazing situation. Yeah. See, once you get into this level, like, this increases morale, this increases the morale need by a lot. But the little hearts don't increase it by an equally large amount. Improved tinkering. Is that really going to be a benefit to you? We don't really have a lot of machines. We might get some machines later, I suppose. Oh, gosh. Should I... should I try and get the fertilizer machine working again? Should I attempt to conquer that beast? Probably not. That would probably be an immensely stupid thing to try and do, but I'm probably going to end up trying to do it anyway, aren't I? I still have no idea what went wrong with that machine. I get the impression I'd done something wrong at the beginning and that kind of screwed it up and it never managed to fix itself somehow. Maybe that was the problem. I don't know. See, I'm scared, right? I'm scared to really do anything because if I do something, I'll probably screw everything up. So I've got like a couple of ideas in the back of my brain of things that I like to do. Like, I'd very much like to move us away from manual power generation, because that takes a lot of time out of their day, and if we could have some more automated power generation, then we wouldn't need to worry about any of that rubbish. So that would be great. I'm just slightly scared, because there's not an awful lot of clean power generation, because in case you haven't noticed, there ain't no wind and there ain't no sun. Which means we can't exactly do a lot of clean energy, which means we have to roll with good old-fashioned dirty energy of fossil fuels. But there's no oil and there's no gas reserves around here, right? There's no oil wells, I don't know what you call an oil production thingy. There's no oil fields, and further to that, there's no natural gas geysers. There's another alien facility there. Which means we could do coal, but I don't really want to do coal because I kind of hate coal, because I'm kind of traumatized about coal. I really, really don't like coal. I really don't like coal. Why is this inert? Can I make this not be inert anymore? Is it because it's too hot or something? I don't know. And frankly, I can't be bothered to work it out. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I really, really want to move them off power generation. I want to move the power away from here. I want to move the power someplace else, because this is generating heat right in the middle of our base. This is putting out heat, you see. And if we look at our heat odometer, this is toasty. I really want to move this somewhere else and maybe put it up here at the top, so the heat can just like go up into some sort of heat trap or something. Is that a phrase? It is now. I'd really like to do that. I just don't know as I can do that, because at the moment I have nothing else that I can do. No other method of power generation that I can do. And I really, really don't want to do coal. Lumber? How many trees have you seen in this place? We're underground, not in the forest, for goodness sake. Well, at least we've got this now, which means we've got the water saving thing. But what other power generation sources are there? So you can turn coal into power, you can turn wood into power. This is sound, isn't it? The audio spectrum allows duplicants to get funky. Yes, I'm sure it does. Plays music and music for dark. Never mind. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. That's gas. That's oil. That's oil. That's for getting oil. That's for production of plastic. Draws a small amount of gas and runs it through pipes. Mini gas, but why would you want mini things? Why would you want minimizations of things? I want everything to be big and girthy. Uses steam. Can I do steam power? Steam power sounds. So it draws in steam from the tiles directly below the machine and uses it to generate electrical power and outputs water. Goodness, that sounds brilliant. I have no idea where we get any steam from, though. Unless we could combine the coal production with the steam production. Like, if we could have, like, a reservoir of water, right? Like, we've got coal production there, or coal consumption there, that's generating heat. The heat then goes up. It then cooks, or boils, to use the technical term, the water that's above it. That then becomes steam. There's then steam-powered turbines above it, which generate power, which generate water, which then go back into the reservoir of water, to then be boiled again by the heat from the coal production, causing a lovely circle. There's no way under the sun that's going to work, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's going to take forever to get that, though, because that requires a huge amount of stuff. But for the time being, let's at least get the coal production stuff, because I don't see any other options at the moment. So, yeah. That's cool. What's less cool is everything that's down here. How much germs are there? There's a little bit of germs, but not a lot of germs. What's this? This is polluted oxygen. Is this all just polluted oxygen then? Because we could access this. This wouldn't be a problem. Security door. Current state locked. Can I submit to bioscan? Requires a sample to unlock. What? The sun are you whispering on about? So I suppose we could... we couldn't really go down here because that's going to bust through our reservoir. But we could sort of go down here, couldn't we? Try and access this area. That'd be kind of a cool thing to do, wouldn't it? I suppose. I don't know. Like I said, I'm scared to do anything because I think anything that I do is going to be a boo-boo. Is the long and the short of the matter. Do I need this anymore? Do we have any... Oh, I think we do have stuff producing polluted dirt, so I probably should keep a hold of this for the time being rather than get rid of it. What shall we do with the broken colony early in the morning? What we should do is we should actually get on with that thing I said I'd do ages ago. Which is the water sieve thing. Let me sort that out. Say, oh blast, my giddy aunt, everything needs power. So does that stupid accursed pump. Of course it does, because the last pump needed power as well, and I was hardly just going to magically stop needing power, was it? Oh blast! Cancel all of that. Just cancel the whole idea. Just shove it out an airlock. Nobody needs it. It was a stupid idea. Don't fancy any production of amazing colonies now. I just fancy being grumpy. Right. Oh, that's what the joyous seeds were for. They would have been brilliantly useful, which we wouldn't have had to have these scabby briar plants. Those joyous seeds would have been amazing. This plant improves the ambient decor. I'm guessing this one doesn't. Oh no, it does. Does it talk about how much it produces? Not really. Doesn't really say anything. It'll work in a lot more temperatures, but to be honest with you, if their cots through at 100 degrees Celsius, they're probably going to cook anyway. Okay, let's just plant something for the time being then. And then, what? What? Oh, because I haven't actually selected anything for you to plant. Maybe that's the problem. Where did the other one go? We had like 3. Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. Let me guess, now it's going to give me more joyous seeds. Coal. An omelette. Some food or some coal? Food can be produced. Coal cannot. Coal is a limited resource. I'm going to get the coal. I don't want to get the coal because I don't like coal because it's nasty and smelly and it said mean things about my cat. But other than that, I don't think there's any problem with coal. So for the time being, let's keep working on these. That will at least give us the juicy, girthy wires that are necessary for the doing of stuff without other stuff blowing up in our face. Anyway, I'm sure they would have loved some omelettes. I fancy an omelette now as well. I'm really hungry, actually. I really shouldn't have started thinking about omelettes. I blame the game. I blame the game for talking about omelettes. What's this thing complaining about? Waiting for materials. It has no meal lice. Oh, well, we've got lots of food at the time being. It doesn't matter. Just stop complaining about everything for 5 seconds, for goodness sake. Yeah. We don't actually need to worry about this. This thing needn't be on any high priority, because we haven't got lots of polluted water here. We can wait a while and let this build up a bit. Because interestingly, we haven't actually started with a reservoir of polluted water like this, which is what I think we did last time. I think last time we had a reservoir of good water, and then some bad water somewhere, and I drained like the bad water into a pre-existing reservoir, which I think would be a nice idea, because I would like to have more water than we've got here. Because we're only going to have like half of this as good water and half of this as bad water at any given time. And now suddenly that briar seed has come back. Of course it has. So I would like more water. But for the time being, I don't think I can get any. It also strikes me that this is quite a nice shape. Which is, you know, like a weird thing for me to say. But this is a decent shape, right? This is a nicely shaped didgeridoo-dah. And I don't know about the shape of your didgeridoo-dah, but I like the shape of this didgeridoo-dah. So, going back to my coal, water, steam idea, if we built insulated tiles around here, could we cook this water? Does it talk about how it turns into evaporation point 100 degrees? I mean, I don't know why that surprises me, because that's real. That is the actual temperature at which water boils. So I suppose that makes sense that it would boil at that temperature. If I keep it very enclosed, though, in a very tightly enclosed environment, maybe it will be alright. Who am I kidding? It's not going to be alright. I'm trying to think of how I can do this in a way that's going to work. Do I even have the insulated tiles? I don't think I do. Where are my insulated tiles at? Probably in temperature management, aren't they? Temperature management. Insulated tiles. Yeah. That'd also give me the fans. Yeah, let's get them as well, just because that's useful to have. So if we like built insulated tiles along here, all the way down here, we then have coal production here. My problem is that they're still going to have to access the area. What are you complaining about? What? You're drowning and you're glum. If I were drowning, I don't think glum would describe my mood. I think complete horror, existential terror, and acceptance of the great beyond's embrace of my stupid brain. But, what was I on about? Oh, yeah. Because they're going to need to deliver the coal, right? So ideally what I'd like to have is an entirely enclosed box, which can be hot from the coal generation and then cooking the water. That would be brilliant. It would. It would be absolutely fantastic. But that isn't going to quite work, because we're still going to need an avenue for the duplicants to get into so that they can actually put the coal in the machine and so that they can actually operate the steam generators. See, this blocks liquid and gas flow. It doesn't talk about the blocking of temperature, though. If I could find a door that blocked temperature, I would jump for joy. But I can't think of one right now. We've run out of metal. That's probably why everyone's standing around not doing anything, because we've run out of metal. Oh, gosh. Right, give me a minute. I'll find us some metal. At least the polluted oxygen's gone. The deodorizer's working well. It's gotten rid of all the polluted oxygen that I was worrying about, so that's great. Oh. Guess what? It's worse than I thought. It's not just that we didn't have any copper, right? We actually did have loads of copper here. The problem was they just couldn't access it because I hadn't built a passageway for them to do that. Idiot. Anyway, moving on. Let's have a look at some statistics. Things I understand. Oxygen generation. How's oxygen generation going last time? Good. Oxygen generation is good. Power usage is good. Power wasted is... Power wasted removed. Overproduction. Battery charge loss. I don't think I like the sound of that. I don't really know what that means. Stress change. Yay, lots of stress has been removed. That's good. High morale. Good. It doesn't look like any of it's being reduced by the massage tables, though. Not that it's a massive problem, because if they're not being used, they're not putting a strain on our power consumption. So there's not really any reason to get rid of them. But, you know, it would be nice if, you know, they kind of didn't do that. I'm thinking about putting a door in here. Just to stop this bad oxygen from escaping, because that'd be kind of cool. A manual airlock. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting all of these in here. I'm thinking about pressing the wrong button. How do I rotate this thing? Probably by pressing the O button. Can I put it over pipes? Of course I can put it over pipes. I should probably put it right there. Yeah. Let me deconstruct this and this. And put them on a priority of 7, please. So that can get sorted out. So what's the decor like in their bedrooms now? Is that any better? Yay! It's much better. They're sleeping in a high decorum room. It's not being helped by all this rubbish on the floor. I might sort that out, actually. Furniture? Stations? Where's my storage containers? Where are my storage containers? Give them to me! Put them in my face. I can't find them. Ah, here they are. Storage bins. And now, if I tell anything to be swept up, they'll go in the bins. Which means we can put them here. Righty-ho. Manual airlock. Right about there. Let's put that on a high priority as well, just so that this bad oxygen stays down here, because I really don't want that escaping unnecessarily. I'd rather keep that at the absolute minimum, wherever humanly possible. And it got rid of the pipe! Oh. Of course it got rid of the pipe. Please tell me the pipes can go through the doors, or else I'm going to cry. Tell me I don't need to circle it round. Oh, gosh. That's not going to work, is it? Because that's... The bottle empty is going to empty it onto the closed door, and then it's going to go on the floor, isn't it? Yes, it is! Open the door, open the door, open the door. How do I open the door? Oh my giddy aunt, stop everything. Stop the press! Stop the press, tell them there's a new headline. I'm a moron. Since when was that news? Oh, gosh. See, this is annoying, right? This is annoying because it means that I now need to have the bottle emptier here instead of here, which means that they're going to have to go through the door. Can we just like disable this build? No, 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 no! Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off! Thank you. Actually, turn it back on. No, that's open. It's fine. It doesn't matter anymore. Giddy aunt. Okay, sorry. That was me being royally stupid. It didn't surprise anybody, but never mind. Okay, sorry. Let me just try to explain why this is a problem. Polluted water. There we go. Yeah. I now want to deconstruct this and set that on auto. Okay, there we go. Like, my idea, my hope anyway, is that... No, not my idea and my hope, my problem. My problem with the bottle emptier being down here is now they've got to go through the door to put bottles in the bottle emptier, rather than just standing over here and putting the bottles in the bottle emptier, which means they're taking longer to put the bottles in the bottle emptier, which is a pain in the bum. I really wish they didn't have to do that. I really wish they didn't have to go through that door. Because every time they do go through the door, some oxygen is seeping out. But never mind, we've got the insulated tiles, haven't we? Yes, we do. And if we put the coal production down here... If we put the coal generators down here, this is going to be a right pain in my bum. Because they're not going to have, like, a wall here. It's like this wall is not thick enough is what I'm saying. If I put the insulated tiles down here as I would like to, then the door is going to have to be right here to access the coal generation, which is going to be where all the water is, which is the only other option is putting it over here or building this out a little bit. So what I think we're going to have to do is put that down like that, dig all of that out, and have a tile there for that to sit on. Then I'm going to need to put insulated tiles down here, like that, and then another tile at the bottom, and a manual airlock there. And this water is just going to have to be lost, which is a shame, because, you know, precious resources. Let's not ruin it all. Because unlike real life, I think water can literally just disappear. That was the mop tool, that was not the sweep tool, Phil. I want to at least remove that, and I'd like to remove the whole thing, because they're spending a fair amount of time here, and I want them to get rid of all of this, because that way, they don't do it all right now, but the more they get rid of, the less damaging that will be to the decor, because I think if they spend time in a high decorum area, their morale goes up. So my idea is if I can focus on the areas where they spend the most time, like the oxygen production facility, the researching facility, the cooking areas, that kind of thing, then they will have better morale because there'll be high decorum in the areas where they're spending more time. Let me get this all sorted out, just because I want these lights on, because I'm not convinced about the whole light helps morale. I am convinced about the light helps plants, because that is something I know for a fact. I also know for a fact that it's very annoying when that happens. Would you stop doing that? That's better. There's more coal here as well, which I suppose we really ought to mine through just for the sake of getting rid of the accursed thing. But there we are. That'll get all of that sorted out, and then... But it would... Made a mess? Who made a mess? Who made a mess? Ooh, dear! What's wrong with you? Are you stuck? Are you stuck? Can you not... Can you... You are stuck! Oh, blast! You are stuck. Dig that. Hooray, we solved the problem. I really wish it said when people were stuck. I really wish people would just say. Right? I'm like that with computers as well. I hate it when a computer, like with my internet, I don't know why it is, but my computer loves lying to me about the internet connection. So often, it's blatantly obvious that the internet connection has failed and it needs to be reset. but the computer lies and said, no, the internet's fine. You can't use the internet, you can't load anything, you can't access anything. The internet is fine. I just wish the computer would be honest with me and just say, the internet isn't fine, please instruct me on how to fix this. And I really wish my people would just pipe up once in a while and just say, hi, bit of a problem here, kind of gonna die, could you sort the problem out? Speaking of problems, let's get that sorted out before people get soggy feet. Oh, blast! Oh, gosh. This happened last time. Oh, gosh. I really didn't want this. I really didn't want the water to get intermixed. I don't know. Can I do like selective pumping? Can I have like a liquid pump that only picks up a certain thing? Yes. It was one liquid out of a mix, sending it into a dedicated filter pipe that's going to filter one liquid type at a time. That's fine. I am perfectly accepting of your problem. How am I going to do this? Because, does this have germs in it? Yeah, it does. It has a heck of a lot less germs than this does, but still germs. Oh, dear. Because now I'm just not entirely sure what to do. Because when we're building this, you see, I don't really know how I'm going to be able to get rid of this water, because I can't just mop this water and say, mop the water away. Maybe when this is built up, that will work. But I don't know as that's going to be the reality of the situation. It's also struck me they can't access that, which is why they're not doing that job. I really need to be more careful about that. A snazzy suit. What? A snazzy suit increases decor at a small area effect around the wearer. Can I literally make somebody wear that? The curative tablets would be a much better idea at the moment, but I'd much rather just give someone a snazzy suit. How do I make someone wear that? Who's going to wear it? You're going to wear it because you are our researcher. How do I make you put this on? Or can I, like, pick the snazzy suit? Yeah, assign it to Abe. Here we are. Abe, put the snazzy suit on. Look snazzy. Yes, hats. Hats are snazzy, I think. At least they were at one point in history. Come on, don't go to bed. Oh. I mean, it doesn't matter. Nothing amazingly important and electrical is happening at the moment, but never mind. Storage unavailable. What are you Oh. Well, I didn't tell you what to sweep. No filters designated. Yeah, I have given you a filter. Whatever is set to sweep. Idiot. Never mind. It doesn't matter. It's not the end of the universe. It's annoying beyond all measure, but it's not the end of the universe, unlike my extremely hoarse voice. Right, never mind. Let me give them a minute just to sort of carry on working for a bit. Just sort of get a few jobs done. Yay, put the snazzy suit on. No, not you. You have the snazzy... Oh my giddy aunt, you look absolutely amazing. You look absolutely, categorically amazing. Abe is the hero of the history. In the entire history of the universe, Abe is just the most amazing person in the world. How am I going to solve this problem? With great difficulty is the answer to that question. Give me a minute. I'll let them do a bit of work. At least these are working now. That project has been finished. Let me do a little bit of work, and I'll see if I can figure out how to get this working. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling, oxygen generation. What am I going to do? I haven't a clue. Doodly doo doo, doodly doo. Have I not been researching anything? I haven't been, have I? Because I'm a dummy, that's why. We were researching this, weren't we? Which I was supposed to be doing for ages. Converts hydrogen into electrical power. I like the sound of that. I really do. I really like the sound of hydrogen power because you said nothing about generating heat, polluted oxygen, polluted water, polluted pollutants. He didn't talk about polluted anything. Nothing bad seems like I'm out of hydrogen. How does hydrogen even work? I don't even really know what hydrogen is, to be completely frank. I don't honestly understand that. It's a bit sort of beyond my knowledge of physics. Which, to be honest with you, anything goes beyond my knowledge of physics. I don't even know which one goes up. Carbon dioxide or CO2. Given the fact that they're the same thing. Carbon dioxide or oxygen, I don't even know which one goes up and which one goes down, if they even move at all. I thought gases like diffuse to be like equally spread around the entire area. But then again, temperature does that as well, but temperature does still go up. And I don't know why temperature goes up, I just think that it does. I don't know. I'm trying to teach myself physics, alright? I'm trying to teach myself thermodynamics and gaseous dynamics at the same time. So this is my... hang on a moment before they come along and screw everything up, because I've just realised I've made a massive error in my plan here. This is my rough plan for what I want, see? I want, like, the insulated tiles the whole way around. I want the steam turbines up here, I want the boiled water here, and I want the heat-generating coal plant down here. Which is... I have just realised the coal is all over here, and I want the coal over here. Which means it's going to be long commutes. But never mind. That's a small problem. Here's a big problem. I've been trying to build this wall before I build anything else, because I'm aware of the fact that all of this water is going to seep down here if I try to build this bit too soon. But here's what I've also just realised. I'm going to have to build these airflow tiles before I build any of this, because to build a tile, they need to break the... the ground that's underneath the tile and then build the tile on top, which means if they're underneath here, they're going to break the tile, all the water's going to come rushing down on top of their head, and then they're going to build the tile, and then all the water's going to be down here, not up there, and they're going to need to pump it all back up, which is going to be a pain in my bum. So what I'm going to need to do instead is put all of this on a low priority, then cancel the construction of these tiles, put a ladder down here, have them construct these at a high priority, get them in there, construct it, pull them out again, and then with these airflow tiles, which don't let the water pass through, we can then go under here and construct this. Good. I haven't thought about how under the sun we're going to solve the CO2 problem, but never mind. We'll deal with the CO2 problem tomorrow. Because I'm not going to have finished that by this time. Okay, right, let me think about the priorities of this. So I need to put all of this... Let me put all of this down on a low priority. Low. Let me cancel all of that and put a ladder in here. And then put all of this on a 6. Yeah, and let me put all of that on 4 as well, I think. There we go. I still don't know what I'm going to do with this water. I'm hoping that when I break through here and I excavate this area, that water will fall down and it will get to such a low level, I'll just be able to mop it up, is my hope. Can I tell them to bottle this by any chance? Or do it... No, presumably not. Presumably that's what the bottle producing pitcher pumps are for, is the bottling process, so that wouldn't make any sense if you were able to do that by hand. So, yeah, I hope they can go in here, build these tiles, which I'm actually going to increase to a 7, thinking about it, because I want them to do it in, like, one shot. I want it to be a one-shot procedure, instead of faffing around for days on end, dealing with it. If they do this in one shot, then we'll be able to let everything else carry on, because we are having a bit of a power problem at the minute. We don't really have enough batteries to have enough power stored up to get on with the task and let the lights continue to run and let the other devices continue to run, like the pumps, while we do other stuff. And I don't want to just build more batteries. I do not want to expand our power production. I want to transfer power production over here. Because I have no interest in building over here, right? Because all of this is just... This is chlorine, and it's absidiite and granite and all this horrible, horrible, nasty stuff that I hate with all of my heart. So I can't really use this area. I might be able to use this area down here, and I can definitely use this area up here. But this area, for the time being, is a royal pain in the bum. So I don't want this area. So if I build here, it doesn't matter that we've got a heavy amount of heat here, because we're not doing anything in that direction. And I want the heat to be on the outskirts of the base so that it just goes somewhere else. is sort of my idea, I suppose. I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to work. To be honest with you, this system of coal generating heat, coal production generating power, which also generates heat, which boils the water, which then goes on to generate the steam production. That is a guess. I am guessing that will work. I do not know that will work. Another thing that I could do potentially, if I wanted to get rid of the coal production, is I could use a heater. There's like I think there's like an underwater heater somewhere, space heater, radiates a moderate amount of heat. If I could just cook the water myself instead of the heat being an offshoot production of the coal processing plant, if I could just have a body of water with heaters in it that's constantly cooking the water and keeping it at a high enough temperature that it remains in its gaseous state, then they would use power, but they'd be producing steam, which would be being used by the steam turbines to produce power. So depending on that ratio, if the steam turbines generate lots of power and the heaters don't use a massive amount of power, then that will be a net gain, because we'll be using a bit of power, but we'll be gaining a lot of power, right? Does that ratio make any sense? Probably not. I like how the water's kind of floating here, though. That is amazingly cool. That's going to be a really cool effect if it looks like that. But, yeah. I don't really know what to do. I feel like that could be a solution down the road, but I need to look at heaters. I need to realise, are they going to be hot enough? Because it needs to keep the water at over 100 degrees so it maintains its gaseous state. And it's also going to have to be not using so much power that the turbines sort of are not... because we need to generate enough power to run the heaters, we also need to generate enough power to run everything else, is the thing. Which is a bit of a problem. But, yeah, I know this is kicking people's stress through the roof. I know that is. I know that's the situation. But it's nearly done now. When this piece is done, that will be completely done, and then we won't need to worry about that anymore. They won't need to work underwater, which I know is a horrible, hateful thing, and I'm really sorry about that, but it was necessary, okay? Hypothermia. Go and do something else. Can I... Yeah, lovely, aren't you? Can I, like, tell you to take a massage? Can I tell you to do that? Can I instruct people to do that sort of job? I hope so, but probably not. Okay, right, let me give them 5 minutes to just keep working on these various different projects and catch up a little bit, because I have been given them rather demanding tasks. So, we haven't had to worry about the food, though. People have got diseases, though. Oh, hypothermia. Oh, that's alright, then. I mean, it's not alright. Does hypothermia cure itself? Time to recover with 50 seconds. Oh, it reduces a lot. Increases their sleaziness. What a statistic. What a statistic. But that's cool. Look at that. Look at the way it floats. That's badass. Anyway, so that's that problem sorted. So now when we're cutting through here, the water won't flow down when we cut through here. Okay, that's good. So then we want to have, what, more air tiles along here, do you think? Ideally, I'd like to sweep all of that stuff up. I don't really want to send them back down there. I'll probably wait until their stress has gone down a little bit before we do that. But then if we swept that area and we got rid of these ladders, they wouldn't have anything to worry about. There'd be no reason for them to go down there, and we can just block that area in. But we're going to have to open it up in order to build the heaters later anyway. But I think the coal generation will be alright, because coal kicks out a huge amount of heat. A shocking amount of heat. A dangerous amount of heat. So I think this will be alright. So let me reset the priorities of this back to a 5. Yeah, a 6. Oh, the metal. The metal refiner, I remember that. What? Limits power flooding through the transformer to 1000 watts. Connect battery to a large... on the large side. Connect batteries on the large side to act as a valve and prevent wires from drawing more than 1000 watts. Can be rotated before construction. Ooh, that would be a cool idea, wouldn't it? That would be a useful thing a person with a brain might use instead of me. Oh well, never mind. I was going to say, I don't know why I get so annoyed at this game for not telling me things, but then again, I never read any of the tutorials, so maybe it's my own freaking fault. Well, heater actually increases the decor, would you believe it? Target temperature 70 degrees, uses power of 120 watts. Where's my hydrogen generator? Do I even have that yet? Yeah, I do actually. Not hydrogen generator, steam turbine. Hydrogen generator. No, I don't. And it doesn't tell me what the information about it is. It doesn't give me the option of looking at the statistics yet. Okay, never mind. We'll just keep working then. And off to bed my little people go. Okay, I think that will be enough for today. I'm sorry we didn't... I feel like we didn't get quite as much done as before. I'm still so scared about this project. But we're making progress here, right? And this is getting lower. It's still too much to mop up. But I'm hoping if we mop up these three... we break down these three pieces, that will let that spread out enough that we can mop it. And then that'll just stop us from constantly getting cold and soggy feet from having to deal with this all the time. And if not, I suppose I could cancel the productions of these and break it up a little bit more. We'll work something out. I'm also getting a little tiny bit... gosh. A little tiny bit concerned about the whole food situation, so I am doubling up food production. I don't know how many seeds we have for all of that sort of jazz. And we've got 13. We've got loads of them, actually, which is great. We've also got some blossom seeds. I don't remember whether the blossoms were useful or not, but we have got some blossom seeds if we want to do that. So I think this project is coming along well, and we're not far away from hydrogen production. We're actually really close to the steam production. I really need to stop muddling up the steam and hydrogen. Is this hydrogen? That's hydrogen. So that's what hydrogen is. Because that would be doubly useful. Because I could have, like... I could have right here. I could have a hydrogen using station, right? Like a station that uses hydrogen. Sorry, let me just change something quickly. I could have like a hydrogen power plant here, and with a gas pump, and then just pump the gas in, right? Like, put up an airlock here, go inside, build a gas pump, just to drag everything out of there, and then link it to the hydrogen production, and then just pump the hydrogen in there. Or does it even need that? Because I'm wondering, does the hydrogen production have like a gas input valve? In fact, I could probably find out, couldn't I? Hydrogen. Yes, it does. So it must use the gas surrounding it. Requirements that it's in a hydrogen environment. Yeah, that's a shame. I was hoping that it would have a gas intake pipe, and I could just pump hydrogen into it via a pump that's pulling it out of here. So then I could just feed it straight in. But no, I need to build it somewhere else. I need to build it in an area of hydrogen. So I would need to have an environment whereby I pump the hydrogen in. But then that would be useful, because that would allow me to drain out these areas of annoying hydrogen that I don't want and use it in a more productive method. I don't know if anything produces hydrogen. I don't really know where hydrogen comes from. Is any of this low enough to be gotten rid of yet? No, it's all still far too much. Oh, gosh. Never mind. At least I'll hopefully start getting on with this now. So yeah, that would at least be useful, right? Because that would help me get rid of that. And also I have the opportunity of looking at this this thing I was talking about, this steam turbine. Steam turbine, steam turbine. Where's the steam turbine? Power shutoff. Jumbo valves. No. Large power transformer. No! Steam turbines. Here we are. Of course it requires plastic, you pig! Oh, God. But plastic requires oil, and I haven't got any oil! There's no oil! I cannot generate oil! I can't generate plastic without oil, and I can't generate oil without an oil well. This is such a pain in the butt. Why does it need plastic? Why can't it just use metal? Honestly. Right. Give time, I shall think. I'll think about how under the sun I'm going to deal with this. Why wouldn't you... Oh, because of the... Fine. We'll figure something out in relation to that. Never mind. Oh, gosh, that's really screwed up my whole plan now, because I actually think this plan would have worked decently well, but without an oil well, I can't do it now, because I desperately need oil to produce plastic. But to be honest with you, if I had oil, I'd probably just do oil generation, but then that would probably have the same CO2 problem. But never mind. I'll have a think, and I'll figure out what we're doing next. But for the time being, that's another episode of the Spectacular Screw-Up. Let's see what we've got. If this was some plastic, I would kiss you. It's not plastic, it's tablets. Fine, tablets are useful. Anyway, yeah, that'll be enough for now. I'll figure out what we're doing in the next one, and we'll come back and do some more later. Okay. So thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed it. Look after each other, and good night.